the 13th chapter of St. Matthew's Gospel, Christ speaks to us through the parable of the sower. It is surely a scene with which he was familiar in his home country. A sower went out to sow seed by hand. Some of it fell on the footpath, on the wayside. Some of it fell on shallow ground. Some of it fell among thorns. And some of it fell on good ground and produced fruit 30, 60, 100-fold. This is surely the way we react to the Word of God. We are reminded that we do not live on bread alone, but on every word that proceeds from the mouth of God. And the Word of God falls on hard ground, on the footpath, and it cannot penetrate. Ask any doctor about that. The number of men who have shortness of breath, palpitation, chest pains, they refuse to go to the doctor lest they discover the truth. And the women who have signs on their body that they may have cancer refuse to go to the doctor lest they discover the truth. And the truth for you and me is we are children of God here for a few fleeting years. And the day of our exit from this world was already written down before we were ever born. But we refuse to think about it. The devil doesn't try to tempt you and me by saying there is no heaven or there is no God, because our instinct tells us there is. But he always gets us by telling us there is no hurry. I am young, I am healthy, the world is at my feet. When I am old and grey and full of sleep, as the poet said, then I'll have time to think about it all. But now I am busy about other things. So the Word of God never penetrates my mind. And then the seed that falls on the shallow ground. It grows up quickly, but it is withered by the heat of the sun. Some older parents could tell you about that. They once were young, they had children, they knew it was their duty to love them and care for them and spend time with them. But father had his career and mother had a job. And suddenly the children are grown and gone. And those lost opportunities never return. My dear friends, we have only today. Yesterday is a word. Tomorrow is a word. All we have is this day that God gave to us, freshly minted from his hand to you and me in love. The 17th century Jesuit Père de Caussade coined the felicitous phrase, the sacrament of the present moment. Your life and mine is given to us moment by moment by moment in love. And I have only the present moment to be aware of who I am. My dear friends, our good resolutions are not sufficient. I am going to do so much in the years to come. What am I doing today? It's all I have. And then the seed that falls on the ground and grows, but it is finally choked with the thorns. It never gets any place. How easily that can happen for you and for me. preoccupied, worried, distracted, caught up in things that do not matter. And the Word of God and our idealism and our growth is stunted. And we never become what God intended we should be. We are near great. And finally, the seed that falls on good ground and brings forth fruit. You say, but there is so little I can do. Oh, my dear friend, every one of us can love. I can love the human being next to me who is demanding, who is difficult, who is uncooperative. I must learn to understand this human being has his own problems, his own secret suffering, his own cross known to him alone. I have never walked in his shoes. I do not know where he is coming from. And I can and I must, by the grace of God, learn to love him today. It is all I have. I came across this little piece of doggerel recently. It rang a bell with me. Go give to the needy, my angel said, for living is giving, and giving is living. Must I keep giving again and again? My petulant answer rang. Oh no, said the angel, piercing me through. Only stop giving when God stops giving to you. God bless you.